Hello and welcome. It's an honor and a privilege being here today and deliver the talk entitled Fantastic OWASP. It looks like we have 80 minutes for our security journey. And without further ado, I would like to focus on the presentation. So now I will stop the feed from the camera and warmly welcome you. Thank you for being with me. And let's try to dive into this topic. Okay, so without additional introduction, I believe it's good to invite you to follow my steps. I will share you some resources, and unfortunately, just before the presentation, I've seen this unicorn by I was visiting the GitHub repos. It can be a problem at your end as well, today, now. But it's good if you notice that this can be temporary. And if you face such a problem, please do not disconnect, do not give it up. Think about this fantastic OWASP journey and explore its resources. I'll be honest with you, it's good to have in front of you the resources that I have prepared. And if you trust me enough, please scan this QR code and you will be directed to a zip file. If you do not trust me, I believe it's good if I provide you with this shortened URL. As you can see, it is visible here. And there's one more thing, the password. And the password consists of 4 letters, capital letters, not the hidden biggie. Okay? NTHW. Please check. And if I'm not wrong, you will get those 8 files, where the newest versions of the documents we're going to talk about today. But very briefly, we have roughly 80 minutes. It's difficult, it's challenging, and foremost, it's very interesting. What I mean is that you can focus on one topic. And when you select a topic and decide to explore it, probably you will have a chance to dive deeper and to explore it. And this will be time consuming. I'm sure about it. So if it's all okay at your end, let's proceed. And let me please start with the general assumption. I will share with you some screenshots, like taking a look at some photographs taken during a real-life journey. In the second part of my presentation, I would like to visit the resources, those web pages, which are relevant from today's topic. All in all, please grab this zip file, decompress it, and have in front, because we're going to reference those files and those resources during this presentation. Let's move further. What do we have here? We have a glimpse of OWASP, the way I come across this fantastic organization 18 years ago. I have found a presentation informing that the OWASP stands for Open Web Application Security Project. Nowadays, it's something different, but for sure, it promotes secure software development. It provides free resources to developer teams. Remember that? Knowledge should be free. And the OWASP explained is non-profit, volunteer-driven organization So all members are volunteers, and there are free resources like publications or standards. They are famous due to such projects as OWASP Top 10. I bet you've heard about it, and we're going to reference those projects in a moment. There are not just publications, there are also tools, and there are local communities. During the demo part of my presentation, I will share some examples, and this will be delivered in a moment. So the famous OWASP Top 10. This one, please take a look. The year 2007. Starting with the challenge entitled Cross-Site Scripting and ending with the failure to restrict the URL access. What I love about OWASP is that they're open and you can reference this resource at the moment right now. And shortly after this presentation, I will share on my LinkedIn profile this PDF version following by the list of references so we can easily point and click and visit a given resource. But the main point of our today's meeting is here. So we are going to take a look at this map, and now we'll activate my virtual pointer and I will start from the center. So starting from here, it's good if I move right, and probably you see at the very beginning, it's natural, we have the requirements. We move to design, implementation, verification, and evaluation. That's obvious. But on the left side, there are more, like operation, we have the culture building and process maturing, we have education, and we have metrics. On the left side, probably you've noticed that we have those famous projects like OWASP Top 10. But I'm pretty sure you've noticed there are more Top 10, like the API Top 10, like the mobile Top 10, and there is one more as well. As you can probably see, those areas can be explored in more detail. Like, for example, from the right side, I will click and focus on threat modeling. I'd like to reference a brilliant talk delivered by Sebastian Obara. He's from Securing, and he's emphasizing the role of threat modeling. And I couldn't agree more. This is very, very important. And probably some of you might see the Threat Dragon for the first time. I believe this incentive can lead us to another fantastic presentation about this exact mean. Nonetheless, if I focus on the rest part of this diagram, I'm sure you can see along with me some of those resources, or rather projects, which are developed and which are probably interesting from your point of view. So this fantastic journey and those 80 minutes starting from 6 p.m. ending 7:20 p.m., including the Q&A session, this will be just the very beginning. I'm sure that we can start from this point and move into some details. Before we are going to explore those projects, please think about the organization. Okay, so we have the OWASP Foundation. And I would like you to take a look at the next slide. So we have the OWASP Foundation. There are board members, there are leaders, and there are volunteers. We have our chapter here in Poland active. I will reference those activities during the final phase of my presentation. As you can see, there are some benefits. Of course, the support for this foundation. We have also the chance to get some grants or scholarships or access OWASP learning platform. So to know more, if you would like to join OWASP, there is a link, a simple enrollment form, and I'll be honest, the annual fee equals to $50. Okay, at the very beginning, please think about it. I mean, OWASP is of a community of fantastic people. You can join this community even today, and I encourage you to do so. So enough of the OWASP as an organization. Let's take a look at some projects. And why not take a look at the world of mobile? Intentionally, I'm starting from this part, because I believe it's a good choice to select an area which is, I believe, very important from our point of view, because our command center is located on our mobile devices, plural, mobile devices. We are using mobile applications, and we have to focus on the security of it. And of course, what is very important is the software development lifecycle. And from our point of view, it's good to think about it from the developer's perspective and, of course, from the user's perspective. At the very beginning, when you visit the mas.owasp.org, you will see 4 subsections like OWASP MASVS, OWASP MASVE, OWASP MASTG, and OWASP MAS checklist. Let's take a look. So the first is the Mobile Application Security Verification Standard. And probably you might be thinking about this, and this will be okay, as some kind of guide. But to be honest, it's not the guide, I mean testing guide, it's the verification standard. On the left side, you can see some parts of it. Okay, so you would like to develop, to build a secure mobile application. Who knows? Maybe you will find this interesting and get inside of the details. And what you can see here in the lower part of the slide, there are some references to storage, to crypto, and to authentication. It looks like we have on the left side the attacks, on the right side the controls, and we have to provide enough of security countermeasures to defeat, to mitigate the threats, the attacks. Let's take a look. We have here the GitHub repo. On the left side, probably you see we have the GitHub repo. And again, if you experience a problem right now at the moment, for example, you've typed the mas.owasp.org and you've clicked the GitHub repo and you will see the unicorn, do not give up. Think about it as of a temporary problem. And if there is not a problem, that's great. That's good, but this is the problem at my end only. So we have this mobile application security verification standard. And of course, if we are talking about the mobile app security, we have to think about what can be the potential area or the reason to be explored by the attacker. And we have so-called mobile application security weaknesses enumeration. And what you can see it here, we have the ID, we have the title, we have admin platform, and we have the ID. We have some details here. Let's take a look at the first position. We have the backup unencrypted. Well, it looks like it's a security weakness. We have another. For example, the chance to insert a sensitivity data into logs. And there are more. Let's move further during the presentation part. We're going to look inside. All right, so how about referencing the mobile application security testing? You do remember? It's the next point. What do we have here? We have here a comprehensive manual for mobile app security testing and reverse engineering. Okay, so we are given not just, those test cases. There are more. You can see on the slide the knowledge, those tests for sure, but we also have techniques, we have tools, and I will show you a part of it. And if you haven't taken a look at it, I think you will be amazed. A lot of knowledge inside. Let's fast forward to OWASP mobile application security checklists. What do we have here? Simply, we have test cases. So you download this Microsoft Excel file and you navigate, let me please zoom in, and you navigate here through those sheets here in this part, starting with the storage, moving through the crypto and so on. And you are seeing here some test cases, some levels and the status. And I believe it's a good starting point for a workshop devoted to mobile application security check. It's not enough. There are more resources to be explored. And I've started with the section related to mobile app. I'm pretty sure you know that we can move to a general category. How about referencing OWASP Application Security Verification Standard? A great resource. Well, a moment before, I've referenced a workshop approach. Well, imagine that you have 5 or 10 days involved into getting inside of the ASVS. All right, so we have the goal of security testing of a web application. And also we're given the list of security requirements which are needful in so-called secure app development process. So you can see the URL below. We're gonna see it in a moment, but I would like you to think about it as a flagship project, very important, and I'm pretty sure we have to take it into account. Let's move further. So sticking to the verification standard, right, we are given the list of requirements for secure development. We might be thinking about well, it is this slide about OWASP Web Security Testing Guide. So, as the name suggests, we are offered a comprehensive guide to testing of the security of web applications and web services. I understand it will be the best to see this guide, and we are going to see it. And frankly speaking, you do remember that zip file at the very beginning that I have referenced? It is a resource, a starting point of already downloaded the newest versions of those documents I'm referencing at the moment. And frankly speaking, there are more interesting topics to be discussed, and probably you've heard about the OWASP cheat sheet series project. And this one is huge. This one is extremely important. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about this series of topics to be explored. Let's take a look here. We have the access control. We have the authentication. There is more. We have the CI/CD security, and so on and so on. We're gonna take a look at it, but now I would like to think about this as a very important project, right? So during our journey, it's good to focus on such potential as that one that I'm currently sharing with you. Without further ado, let's take a look at another projects. Some of them are quite new. I understand that referencing AI as a standard thing today. I've constructed my first neural network 24 years ago. But today, I think we have a completely new circumstances around us. We have completely new set of tools, possibilities, and we have the new landscape of threats to be challenged. What you have here on this slide is the reference to GenAI project, or the big project related to AI. And what you can see on the in the circle here, we have the famous, at the moment, I might say that, famous OWASP top 10 for LLM and GenAI. There is AI threat intelligence, and there are more which are presented here. I believe it's a normal thing, but we are challenging the requirements of solutions which are AI powered. And we have this GenAI security project and the very important section, which is entitled resources here, but there are projects as well. Okay. And please stick to the AI with me. And let me please navigate to another step. And here we have the OWASPAI.org. You know what it means? It means that there is a combination OWASP and AI, and this is the starting point of something very interesting. And I believe through the time, we're gonna see the more and more coming here. As probably you can see here, there is a hyperlink to this document. I have downloaded and put the PDF file in the zip delivered to you at the beginning, so you can explore what is inside. Let's move further. We have very important project entitled OWASP SAM. The SAM stands for Software Assurance Maturity Model. This model is available online. Well, it's a natural thing, but we would like to explore this model. We're going to do it. But at the very beginning, you can see here on this figure, we have the business functions starting from governance, going through design, implementation, verification, and the last one is operations. And below we have security practices. And in case of governance, we have the strategy, We have policy, compliance, and education. Probably you've noticed that we have two streams, stream A and stream B. This will be very important. When you visit this model online, this one will be an important thing to see the difference. We have the design business function. We have threat assessment, security requirements, and secure architecture. You can see those subsections inside. I will not reference them in detail, but they are visible here. For example, where is it? It's here. You can see the threat modeling inside. We have the implementation, secure build, deployment, and defect management. This can be very interesting, don't you think? We have the verification, the very important function, and we are assessing the architecture. This is the first point here. We are testing, being driven by the requirements, and finally we have security testing. I love this word, deep understanding. I would like to reference a friend of mine, a brilliant specialist in the field of machine learning, Marcin Szeliga, who says that if you would like to talk about AI, you have to start with the data understanding. I believe it's good if we understand the software, its functions, and we understand the security, which is very, very important for sure. And another quote, very famous. If you think that technology can solve your security problems, then probably you don't understand the technology and don't understand the problems. We have here the operations, the very important incident management. We have environment management, and the last one, operational management. Inside of this, we have the data protection. You can see this keyword, legacy. I think it rings a bell. I believe we can have an interesting discussion in a moment after I finish my talk, and we'll start the Q&A session. You know, the difference between the world in our security lab and the world which is there, which you see as an auditor or a pen tester. I'm pretty sure we can have a fruitful discussion. But before we open this Q&A session, I would like to reference more projects. I'm sure that you are waiting for this because this one is big, the OWASP Top 10. And not so long ago, we've been informed that we have the OWASP Top 10 2025 RC. You can see the URL here below. You can grab those details. You can focus on the list provided here. So what do we have here? We have the top 10, which is very important from the point of the people involved in development of applications, thinking about broken access control as the AO1 challenge. We have this security misconfiguration. We have software supply chain failures. For sure, cryptographic failures are there. Injection, very important one. We have insecure design. We have authentication failures. We have software and data integrity failures, logging and alerting failures. And finally, A10, it's mishandling of exceptional conditions. I'm sure you would like to explore the details. At this moment, I will not provide those details, but if you would like to know more and I believe it's our purpose to broaden knowledge, you simply click a given position on the list and explore it. I will share it in a moment. You will see an example. But my intention is to invite you to explore it in details, to deep dive, not just on a selected position. Let's explore the whole top 10. And being honest, I think it can be a challenging and interesting task as well if you decide to, who knows, compare, 2025 to maybe not 2007, but the previous version, 2021. What are the differences? And most important, get inside of the research data. Now the survey is closed, so you won't see those questions which are asked in the poll, but you can reference the data. This can be an interesting challenge. Who knows? Maybe you will decide to take a look at this. So we have the OWASP top 10. I don't understand what does it mean, but I have to focus on broken access control. And we have so-called approach entitled learning by doing, or the challenge-based approach. I do have in my living memory a great talk delivered by Michał Błaszczak during the last Oh My Hack conference. This was an opening lecture, a keynote on the main stage. I loved that talk. And I've noticed the reference to the practical aspects of the security topics which we are exploring. This is very, very important. That's why we're using some training platforms. That's why the capture the flag, it's not just, a fancy keyword. We are just following a given approach. And also what is behind the curtain is the chance to ask someone a question and get the answer. And the most important, you are doing this at your own pace. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about you can have time. You can make time. If you want to pause, you're going to pause. If you want to explore something in detail, let's do it. All right? We are not comparing to each other. We are focusing on your path. That's, I believe, the best advice I can give you. So let's imagine we have this OWASP top 10 and we would like to see this in action. I'm sure you've heard about the OWASP Juice Shop. You can see here a tab entitled Challenges. You can see here Learning and the CTF. So we have the OWASP Juice Shop, this insecure web application, which encompasses vulnerabilities from the entire OWASP top 10. And there are different ways to explore the potential. I believe it's good, we have the potential of using the containerized applications, right, to download, install, and run the Docker desktop. And I would like this will be a one-liner standing in front to be executed, and you will see the environment which you can explore. Explore using what? Maybe using such guides as this one. You can see this companion guide. This is the latest version. It's available online. I will share with you this companion guide during the second part of my presentation. It's all Absolutely not. There are more. Like, for example, we have the OWASP WebGoat. We have more interesting challenges ahead of us. Like, for example, I have referenced a mobile app, and a moment before I've referenced OWASP Top 10. So why not combine it? Let's do it. We have the OWASP Mobile Top 10 here, and you can see, all right, so we have the Mobile Top 10 2024, the list of 10 challenges, I prefer to call it, and I would like to address this OWASP Top 10 Mobile. What does it mean? It means that you have to select your favorite environment. Okay, if it is related to the iOS mobile applications, mobile operating system, you might be willing to use the OWASP iDote. As you can see, this is the Swift version of the original iDote project. We can learn how to exploit and defend vulnerabilities in iOS Swift applications. Great. We have the summary here. We have the OWASP Top 10 Mobile and such fantastic and not that easy topics like reverse engineering, tampering, memory management, and so on. For sure, it will be good if I reference the other popular mobile operating system, of course, Android, but having the chance of sharing with you some examples of the OWASP projects, please notice that there are not only the flagship projects, there are also those projects which are, for example, like this one, no longer maintained. This OWASP GoToDroid is a functional and self-contained training environment. And why not take a look at this? But maybe move further, maybe combine it and take a look at the project entitled OWASP Security Shepherd. It's here. We can download the virtual machine, right? Perform the manual installation, and we have it both, those both worlds, the web and the mobile application security testing. I'm currently delivering the course related to web and mobile application security testing, and my students are focusing on such resources as this one visible here. So we can see the aim of the project is to sharpen the penetration testing skills. Why not? Or you might say, maybe not now, maybe later, or you will decide to explore something completely different. I understand that. And I've referenced today the AI. I'm not sure whether you have heard about the OWASP Top 10 for LLMs applications. It is there. So you can explore it. You can take a look. And one of the PDF files enclosed in a zip archive is related exactly to OWASP Top 10 for large language model applications. Let's move further and navigate to OWASP API Security Top 10. It is available here. As you can see, owasp.org/API-security. At your end, you can type this URL, go ahead and explore. And it's an obvious thing. We're living in an API economy, right? So it's good to address those challenges related in the field of security of APIs. So we have a set of risks, security risks. We have some best practices to be applied. And why not take a look what is important in this area? So we have a chance to explore it as well. I'm sure that our fantastic, not the hidden BT community can meet with another community. Frankly speaking, right, the idea of exchanging knowledge via communities, via meetups, it's a needful thing. It's a good thing, but they are available to us. But of course, we have to invest our time, and for sure, like me being here in Katowice, I need to travel, for example, to Krakow, and here have a chance to meet with those fantastic people. Who knows, there is no zero probability, but there is some of you here on this photo, or that you have a chance to visit the OWASP Poland meeting. All right, a lot of members visible here. You can see the URL below. And on the 5th of November, I've been there in Krakow. This is the Zendesk office. Kuba is speaking. Right there are two hosts, Kuba and Wojtek. And Wojtek is on the left side. The last meeting was devoted to AI security. Great talks, including the first one delivered by Rafał Meisel. I would like to greet Rafał. We're seeing each other frequently. He is a friend of the 1753C community. And I'll be honest with you, it's about the knowledge. It's about the chance to exchange the experiences, but also a chance to grab something to drink and eat. I would like now to conclude this part of my presentation. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for taking a look at some glimpses of the flagship projects from the ecosystem created by OWASP community. And now let's take a look at those examples, but not on a Microsoft PowerPoint platform, but let's take a look on this live. So I will now switch to my browser. Again, I will provide you with the full set of hyperlinks that I'm currently referencing, okay? Just please take a look. My idea is to show you something more that you have probably seen till today. So we are starting with owasp.org/projects. Here you have this diagram. You do remember that? Okay, this one is active. If you wanna go ahead inside, I don't know, I haven't said a word, sorry, about the PyDot, no time, but you can go ahead and explore it. There is a fantastic solution entitled MS. Again, a chance to apply so-called hands-on lab approach and do it at your own end. If we are in this field, I would like you to switch from the level to type, and now you will see the category. Maybe I will make it a bit bigger. Starting with the code projects, you might say a lot, interesting. I love this one. Oh, this one is interesting. Let's move further. It's a journey. And we have the documentation projects. Well, when I was young, I remember my focus on the hardware and software. And now, 27 years later, after my first adventure in the cybersecurity world, I must say that my preference is set to documentation, right? To create who knows, the different perspective, maybe I can call it like this. So we have a lot of possible interesting topics which are here. Uh, you can see that they're intertwined, right? For example, I've referenced the OWASP top 10 LLMs applications, and here we have the OWASP machine learning security top 10. It's good to combine them and to explore it. Like think it about as a chain, and you are leaping, you are jumping from one topic to another, but they are, you know, creating the one and only interesting category from your point of view. How about this? Well, imagine, right? We are seeing each other, and I hope that we're going to see each other on site in real life soon. But let me please zoom in. You are talking about OWASP top 10, and you are saying, have you seen the OWASP top 10 drone security risks? I have a course entitled XR. You know, talking about virtual and augmented reality is fantastic, but thinking about securing those solutions is an extremely challenging task as well. So a lot of projects which are here, and I haven't had the chance to talk about it in detail, right? Again, roughly 80 minutes. Let's move further. I believe it's good if we reference the next resources. Okay, the memberships. You remember about that? So if you navigate here, you can simply apply. Well, I haven't mentioned about, right, there's a chance to set the duration to 24 months, and then it's not $100 but $95. And there is also a lifetime membership. And you know, when you have a community, I think it's good if we meet each other, not just online, but also on site. This is the global organization, right? And maybe the only one available to us will be the virtual meeting. But maybe the training days in London or in Austria, in Vienna, Austria, will be available to us as well. Okay, so I think referencing the OWASP.org, this ecosystem, should start with taking a look at the organization and the community, and next take a look at the projects which are here. I've promised to take a look at the chapters. So this is a live web page. We are going to take a look at the Europe here. Okay. I'm navigating to Poland. Okay, and we have our chapter here, and we have the regions, including Śląsk. I would like to say hello to Daniel Krasnokutski. We're going to see each other online on Saturday. Okay, and there are more regions which are presented here. All right, just finishing here. I will put a full stop because I would like to go ahead and show you more. We started with the mobile app security. Remember that? So we have those resources available here. I'll move quickly and to show you that there are some detailed topics visible here, and you might be willing to go ahead and learn about it. It's there. Let's move further. We have this mobile application security weaknesses enumeration. Again, we've started with the backup unencrypted, sorry. So description, references, and how can we cover this? Moving further, this one is very interesting. Okay, and I have pinpointed the tools section. Do you remember? So let's take a look here. There are a lot of more fantastic topics covered here, but the testing tools, more than 100. All right, I'm from the world of Apple. I do remember the year of 2011, the year the Steve Jobs died, and I have conducted a lecture dressed like him and delivering my 3 stories. All right, and being here, so I have more than 50 tools, which can be interesting from my point of view. I don't know, maybe this one. This is a Python script that helps us retrieve the decrypted version of an iOS app from an iOS device. And I will click this again. And this idea of journey is to explore the resources. And sometimes it happens that the given resource is not available. We're not saying the unicorn. That's great. Thank you. Okay, let's move further. This is not a workshop. This is just a presentation, or rather an invitation to explore it in more detail. As I said, you can click and download this XLSX file and navigate through this. And in a zip file, you can find this spreadsheet. And maybe I should at least click one to show you what we have inside. All right. And I love this way, right, of presenting the general overview, the steps to be taken, observation, evaluation, and even the reference into a demo. Right? I understand. You might be saying, but I don't like, I'm not interested in the mobile app security. Who knows? Maybe now. And maybe in the future, you will change your mind. It's good to have it in front. Let's move further. Let's move further and take a look here. All right. I believe it will be good if I continue. So we have the OWASP application security verification standard. Yes, we do remember that. We have here the chance to download the version 5.0.0 and to see how does it look like. I will click the GitHub branch. Let's take a look. What we are going to see. It works again. That's great. Thank you. Okay, so we have here some details related to this project and the version 5.0. Right, we don't have time for those details. Exploration, you can see here those files inside, and you can explore them and see what's behind, right? So it's there. Moving further, the testing guide. All right, the testing guide, we can view the current stable version here. So let's click this link and imagine what we have in front of us. We have here the table of contents, and okay, please stay focused, right? Do not disconnect. We have the OWASP testing framework, those 5 phases: before development, during design, during development, during deployment, and during maintenance. Wow, what do we have here? A penetration testing methodologies. Let's click this one. And another fantastic set of resources, which can be interesting from our point of view. What do we have here? We have here the OWASP Web Security Testing Guide. Yes, we've referenced this. We have the Mobile Security Testing Guide, right, presented today. And we have the OWASP Firmware Security Testing Methodology. Never heard about it. I would like to explore it in more detail. And that's what I love. It's the chance to follow your individual path, to take a look what's about the fork that I'm referencing. So there are more resources visible here. I believe there is at least one person here listening to me interested in this fantastic field. And you might be saying, all right, but this is about the OWASP ecosystem, right? But they are interfacing, they are interconnected with other communities, other sources of knowledge. And I'm sure that we have to take this into account. This is not a closed ecosystem. Let's navigate to another interesting point where you remember, right? OWASP cheat sheet series project. And let's take a look. What do we have here? Right? On a screenshot, we haven't had the chance to get the full list. Kubernetes security, I like this one. So we have the Kubernetes security cheat sheet. We have started with the overview. And we're moving further. Please take a look what we have here. And there are sections related to hosts, to given components, and the best practices are offered here in technical details. I'm sure, right, I believe they'll be the best choice if I navigate through the table of contents, through those sections, is that we are offered some recommendations, some best practices. And my final thought is that it's pointless just to know the path. The key is to walk the path. I understand it requires time and resources and other resources, but it's a must-have thing. Well, multi-factor authentication. I have a separate chapter in my habilitation thesis devoted to this topic. And let's dive into and check what's here. We have the quick recommendations, because maybe sometimes what we need is a short cheat sheet. You know what I'm thinking about? Just the general bunch of recommendation, that's it. But sometimes we want to explore it in more details. Maybe I'm seeing here the passkeys. I need to know more about it. I know the general idea, but what's behind the curtain, right? How does it work? I'm sorry, but I've just referenced the now you see me, now you don't. So Iluzja 3 movie, I've seen it yesterday. I love that one. Okay, but returning to our talk, we have the authentication factors at the very beginning. I love the world of biometrics. And who knows, maybe we can focus on this given section and consider the threats and countermeasures could be applied. I bet. But you are using the biometrics each time you are unlocking your phone or entering your lab, right? In my case, it's true. But it's not a silver bullet, you might say, and I agree with you. But it's not a needful thing to consider, right, the one and only group of authentication factors, Like if I were a fan of smart cards or hardware tokens, I would say, nevertheless, no matter of the conditions, I would like to offer the hardware token for everything. I will pause now. Please take a look. I believe it's good. If we go ahead and reference this resource, I understand. It's a topic for another meeting. The Gen AI. And I've referenced the resources and projects, right? And a lot of things to be discussed, but at the moment, I will go ahead through the resources, navigate to the cheat sheet, and here, right, December 9th, right, we have 2 days ago, right, published, we have the OWASP top 10 for agentic applications. Okay, the Gen AI is not per se, but we are all focusing on the power offered by agentic AI. So I would like to get inside of it. Let's click more. Yeah, another fantastic document to be explored. Already downloaded. Please go ahead and explore it. There are more. How about the security landscape? Security solutions landscape. Usually we're focusing on threats landscape. Now we have the security solution landscape. Interesting set of resources, don't you think? And the projects which are here. How about threat intelligence, which is here? Okay. Why not? And if you would like to know more, to explore and interact, I haven't mentioned about the OWASP Slack.com. It's here. Okay. And we have a channel and you can interact and you can explore. There are more things to be covered and about 10 minutes left. So I will speed up. I would like to take a look at the owaspai.org. And what we have here is, for example, the threat matrix. This point and this point only can be an interesting chance for or a starting subject for discussion. There are more topics to be referenced, like, for example, a security testing. It's here. And again, you would like to take a look here, and I will click this link. Okay, I will click this link because I want you to take a look what's inside. Okay, inside is a comprehensive document where you can take a look and explore something in detail. And to be honest, now having the power of the large language models, maybe you will provide it as an input and you will interact with this PDF through the way based on asking the questions and obtaining the answers, right? I think it's a normal thing. Let's move further. The OWASP SAM, Software Assurance Maturity Model. Okay, and we have this model online. There is also a SAM toolbox. I'm just referencing this. Okay, and let's focus on the secure build. You remember I've mentioned about the stream A and stream B. This is very important. And how about the build process? What are the maturity levels? Maturity level 1. It is described here. We have here the quality criteria. We have the maturity level 2 and maturity level 3. Let's take a look at the quality criteria here. It looks good. And I will do it, okay? We have the PDF version of the model. How many pages do you think it consists of? More than 100, for sure. And to be honest, it's more than 300 pages, right? Because this model is complex, and you can, well, again, maybe interact using the AI, right? A live demo using the Google Gemini, but that's okay. Let's see that one in action. No unicorns at the moment. I'm so happy. So who knows, maybe the Gemini will make this happen. Yes, it works. So, all right, this abbreviation in expanded version in the first point, we have the mission, we have the sum structure. There are more interesting things, as you can see, and who know, maybe ask about, I don't know, this supplier security. Okay, let's type it. Supplier security, most important requirements. Okay, and we wait. Thank you for your patience. I understand the time is limited, but let's see at least the first line of the answer to the question. Okay, focus on deep integration, contractual clarity, and continuous verification. I like that. Continuous verification. Awesome. Let's navigate to the next tab, the OWASP top 10. You remember we've talked about the chance to take a look what's is inside of the broken access control. We have the description here. We have the how to prevent and the very fantastic example attack scenarios. I understand, but I'm just showing you, but you can grab the details. We are not covering any practical aspects of it, but I think it's a good starting point. Let's move further. The famous OWASP juice shop, and I will start with the challenges which are here. We have a given category, we have the number, and those challenges are entitled here, right? Product tampering, view basket, and so on and so on. A lot? I think yes. We have the learning tab here. Click on the link in the table below to launch this step-by-step tutorial. And this is a live show. If I click this one and you will see an error, you will understand. But what it's here, it's the most recommended way of interacting with not just this one solution. Okay, but I've said that I will try to see it live. You can see the OWASP job shop. No, yes, we have it, thankfully. So application error, right? As I said, the best is to go ahead and explore it on your machine. I'm not strongly recommending, but I believe this one will be the good idea, you know, to visit hub.com and simply run it in the Docker desktop. I believe it won't be a problem. Let's take a look. Yeah, as well, we can go ahead with this. Install node.js. We perform the git clone. We are getting inside of the folder. We're running the npm install and running npm start, and finally navigating to localhost colon 3000. And it's here. All right, let's move further. And I will close it with the reference to the testing, to the companion guide, sorry. Probably you've heard about the lean pub. you can grab those reference item, and you can grab more, and maybe you will support, because you can, decide whether you pay $0 or non-zero, and different topics and different projects that I have referenced that you can explore in further details. Like here, for example, I've mentioned about OWASP top 10 mobile risk, but not having the chance to provide at least this diagram. Again, the link to the OWASP iPcode, to the OWASP Droid project, here to the Security Shepherd. As you can see, it's all online. You can explore it. We have the OWASP top 10 for large language model applications, and OWASP API Security top 10. It's here. And last but not least, you remember, we have the OWASP Poland, and who knows, maybe we see each other during the next meeting. Now, I will return to my presentation. If you'd like to obtain my resources that I have prepared for this talk, do not hesitate to contact me via email visible here. That's all. Thank you very much. I wish you a fantastic journey in the OWASP world. Thank you.